Opening comments from Coach, and then we can take questions.
Well, credit to Ohio State, certainly, but really appreciate the group in the locker room, and this one is tough on them, on us, because we didn't come into this one hoping to keep it close, hoping to just be out there, and asked the kids on Friday night to put it all out there, and they did. And you guys know, and I know, they know, kids I'm talking about, that there's things that need to do better or could do to tilt it. And it's like I said, obviously it's a good Ohio State team, and they made plays, but I was proud of the way our kids competed and played the game and kept playing and did it together. And this one hurts tonight, and tomorrow we got to come back, and it's about going forward.
Microphones on each side. Lance.
Well, you guys were up 10 coming out of the half, and then in the third quarter you got 11 plays, 11 yards. What changed in your mind in that third quarter?
Yeah, I mean, that was not how you'd want to do it. We didn't get anything going. It was. I thought the thing that gave us a chance tonight, offensively, I'm talking about, was running the football, and we were able to do that in everything but the third quarter. And certainly we had some third down opportunities and didn't win there. That's why you don't get the plays. And I'm trying to think through a couple of those. There's a couple that stick out. I'm pretty sure they're third quarter, and we didn't win those plays, right? And that's what makes it harder. And yet that's why I'm also proud of the way they battled back and gave us a chance, and we've got to do all we can as coaches to help them to, when they give themselves a chance, find that edge to get over this hump.
Paul, based on the way you had run the ball, you get to the 4 and have 4 shots at it there in overtime. You feeling pretty confident about your chances there?
Yeah, I did feel good, and then you're right. I mean, it's easy. Okay, we didn't get it on the first one, and then thought that we had an action pass off of it, and didn't get that, and they credit to them there. That's when it came down to that point, right? And we didn't make the plays, execute to give ourselves that chance to maybe put it into the second overtime.
How much confidence do you gain in a guy like Endicott tonight, who connected on some deep field goals? I think he was 3 for 3 and finished some drives for you.
No, I thought obviously a game like this, Andy came up big, and yeah, we had confidence with him before this game. You know what I'm saying? So is it more? I think like anyone, I think it probably gives him as much confidence as it does give us the confidence. And this group is, I love and appreciate this group because they're all going to give themselves and do all they can to give this team that chance.
Matt?
You mentioned the running game and the improvement there. Your line was able to open up a bunch of holes. But what does Ohio State do differently in the passing game that made it tougher on your offensive line?
Well, and they got good players, and they did a nice job of changing up some of the things they were doing enough that you've got to be able to adjust during the play. And you're right. There was a couple of those where we didn't. We're either moved off the spot or didn't get the throw off on third down. I'm thinking it's a good football team they got, and I thought we had a lot of good things, but we're going to look at this one like every game, and there's going to be things we've got to build on, and we can build on, and I think some areas may be improved, and then there's going to be some things that we have to clean up to keep growing and being the best we can be, and that's the quest.
Jason.
Coach, do any of your team's goals change after a second straight loss, or do you feel like everything's still out there for them this season?
Absolutely. We've got our team goals, which mean a ton to us. We know what this group has a vision, and our goals won't get nothing on the outside. Nothing will impact this one. We're there goes last week or again 2 weeks ago went the undefeated season, right? But we didn't talk about that one. And you know what? We got a ton to go forward with. We're halfway point, right? I think halfway point in our season. And we got a lot of football ahead of us and some great opportunities, challenges ahead of us, great opportunities.
Back here, Paul. Alex may look at that last play kind of overarching it, but he throws an interception, and then he comes back and leads them down the field. How gutsy of a performance was it from Alex?
I thought he did some things tonight that were good, and some things that he's got to clean up. And I think there's a lot of guts on this team, and this group cares about each other, and they also want to be the best football player they can be and contribute to this team. And I think we've got a ton of guys. Alex is one of them. And you know what? That's why it hurts this group. And in a weird way, you appreciate that it hurts them because they put it all out there. And yet, we got to come back with resolve and perseverance and get ready for the next. I think the rest of our games are in the West. And so we got a lot of football ahead of us.
Jason.
Coach, you were shifting a couple spots on the offensive line throughout the game. What kind of went into the plan to decide to give a couple of those guys an opportunity, and how do you kind of see that playing out going forward?
Yeah, tried to find the best combination of guys going, and we'll see going forward.
Paul, a 10-point lead at halftime against this team is nothing to scoff at, but you put up over 300-plus yards of total offense. Did you walk into halftime, in the locker room at halftime, thinking maybe you missed a chance to build a bigger cushion? Or
Yeah, I thought that on even the end of the half. And we knew that you don't know when those opportunities, those chances come in a game, and we knew that when they do come, you've got to take advantage of them. And now you look back, and that's where a lot of them were, right? And we talked about earlier, we didn't do anything in the third quarter. And you know that when you're playing, and yet you don't want to. You just got to keep going. But I think if you're to look back at this game, absolutely. Some of those drives and how in my mind, playing over and over, how did you attack it? What'd you do? That's the beauty of the game.
Back.
Paul, I know you said you didn't come here just to keep this game close, but
Right.
the way you played against Michigan, now against Ohio State, two elite programs in the country, do you feel like the Badger program is that close to being among the elite? Or how close is this program to being in that company?
Spend no time trying to think about that. What this group wants to be is the best team it can be. And in all those conversations, I'm proud of this, certainly the program and everything. And there's been a lot of guys. This is our window. This is this year's team's window. And the objective is to be the best we can be. And, I don't want to speak for our guys, right? I mean, they've got voices, and but we, the bar is set high here. And yet, you know what? We want to be the best we can be. And I think there's still room for growth. And I love a lot of the things that we've done. But there's still room for growth, and we got to take those steps.
Paul, do you think there were like 4 or 5 times, maybe more, where you had Barrett right where you wanted him, and he managed to slip and make a play?
Yeah, and you look at those on two things, how can we finish, right? And those are, we all that participated, that went out there, you play it over and over and over in your head. And the same guy, whether it's TJ or Sitch. And then at the same time you say, hats off, he's a heck of a player. And I thought he was everything that we thought coming in. It was, thought he was a guy that competes and made plays, and he did that. And I thought he also made some big throws, and some clutch throws in hard situations. We got some pressure early, but I don't think we did much at the end, and even overtime we had some opportunities for some lost yardage plays, and they did make those plays. He's a heck of a player. JT, I'm talking about.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you.
Oh.
I apologize, Coach, if you've already answered this, but obviously you're a very good team that played very well. Just what makes them so hard to beat when you're right there, but they still somehow find a way in a very tough environment to get it done?
I think they're a good football team. Really good football team.